What is up, dudes and dudettes? Amanda here. Just wanted to talk about the beginning, right? Like, where do you start on your financial journey? I'm sure at some point all of you have said, I got to get control of my finances, but really, where do I start? Like, what's the beginning? What do I need to do? I know I need to save money. I know I need to invest. I know I need to do all of these things, but it's so convoluted in some respects. So where do you really start? And in my opinion, the first thing you got to do is, to get control of your money, you have to start saying that. You have to say, like, I need to do that. And I've got to say, the first thing that you need to do is start looking at what money you have coming in, right? That's number one. You need to know how much you're making so that you know how much to spend, right? So then you start looking at what's going out. And you might be surprised that the outgoing number is a little bit more tangible and manageable than you think it is, especially initially. Because sometimes when you get overwhelmed with your finances, it becomes very easily, it escapes you very easily, where you don't think you can work on it, or you feel just so overwhelmed that you're not even looking at it. But looking at it may be very stressful at first, but once you devise a plan to actually execute and to start doing it every day, it'll take so much stress off of you, and you'll be able to start feeling a little bit more free, right? And the first thing that you have to understand about it too is that everybody starts from somewhere. Sometimes people start a little bit further back than others, and that's all right. But the point is that everybody started, and they didn't get to the top just from nothing. They didn't just all of a sudden start at the top. They had to start from somewhere. And they're all managing their finances in one way, shape, or form. But once you realize that you aren't the sole proprietor of starting at the bottom and from nothing, or even if you're starting out with substantial debt, I'm here to tell you that the best way to start is just to do it. You just got to do it. You just got to look at it, right? All right, so let's take step one. So grab yourself a pencil, a piece of paper. That's it. So all you need, those two things. But I'll wait. So go ahead and grab that pencil and piece of paper.
A few moments later.
All right, awesome. See, now you're already off to a great start. You're sitting down, you're listening to this video, you're watching this, you're absorbing it, you're ready to do. And that's what's important. That's the first step. You've already taken the first step. So now what you want to do is start writing down your monthly total income. Start taking, do you do a side hustle? Write that down. Do you have your 9-to-5 job? Write down what your paycheck is every 2 weeks. So that way that you can start seeing how much you amass. Do you rent a room out to somebody? Write all of those things down. Okay, so what I want you to do is write your monthly bills. So your car note, your car insurance, your cell phone bill, your rent, your utilities, your water and your sewer, your electric, your some places make you pay for garbage pickup. Put that in there. If your tax bill is separate than your mortgage, then put that on there. What you pay every month in gas to and from work, tolls to and from work. If you live in an area where they require you to pay tolls that are on your route, every little nuance, write that all down, and then total it up, and then verse it back to what you have coming in. And don't forget to include your credit card debt. If you've got credit cards that you have a substantial amount of debt, then you want to write down the number of whatever that total number is, and then whatever the monthly payment is. And you can always exercise that out to see how long it will take you to pay that off, but we'll get to that in a different video, paying off credit card debt. So now that all that you did right there, if you complete that right there, income, outgo, right? You've got what's coming in and you've got what's going out. That's a budget. You just made a budget. That is exactly what you need to do for the very first step to get into taking control of your finances, is doing a budget. Point blank. I redo a budget every 3 months. And that's just purely because I want to make sure that I'm keeping up with what's coming in and I'm not overspending, that I make sure that I am in line with the goals, my financial goals that I have, that I'm putting the right amount into my investment account, that I'm putting the right amount into my savings account, to make sure that I have an emergency fund that backs at a minimum of 3 months of all of my bills combined. So my mortgage, my car note, my my car insurance, all of those things. I want to make sure that I have in my emergency fund 3 full months in case something happens and I need to be able to have cash. I also like to try to keep putting a little bit extra in there so that if an opportunity arises, that I might be able to purchase a property, or I might be able to do something to leverage to make more money off of it. I have the capital to do that, and I have those funds. So I have to redo my budget every so often so that I'm in line and I know that I'm keeping track of what I'm doing. And that's a great way to make sure that you are on track, is to make sure that you're doing that. But even though that the budget is very much the physical step one, the one thing that you need to do mentally is you need to just have the drive and the initiative to actually do it, and to sit down once every couple of months and just redo this whole phase. Because once you get into that routine, it's one of those things that almost becomes like addictive. When you watch your savings account grow, or you're watching that debt roll down, and you have all this stress right now because it's really a fear of the unknown, right? Like, you don't know where you stand, you don't know where you're at, you can't get a credit card, whatever the case is, you're feeling the stress. But once you start seeing that number your savings number go up and your debt number go down, you're going to feel a sense of relief. And then you'll be able to move forward and maybe start getting credit cards if it's a secured card. And that's something that I want to do in another video too, is talk about beginning credit cards. Like, where do you start? Because a lot of people, just don't have any credit cards. A lot of younger millennials don't even have any credit. So how do you get a credit card without credit? But you need credit cards to get credit. It's a vicious cycle. So but we'll get to that in a different video for sure. But that's really all I wanted to talk about. The very first step is just making that budget. And once you get that step down, you start doing that and you hammer it home, and then iron out your goals, because you want to have financial goals in order to drive your budget, right? So if you have an excess left over at the end of the month, set your bank account to put on autosave to put money in your savings account. Or up the payments that you're making on your debt so that you can pay that debt down faster and pay less in interest, because you're paying on interest every month on that, right? So the quicker that you do that, the quicker that you can be where you want to be financially once you know you're here. That millionaire mindset starts with that simple pencil and piece of paper. This is what I'm doing. All of my money. I'm going to act broke, but I have all this money in my bank account. I have all this money in my investment account. That's millionaire mindset for sure, hands down. All right, guys, that's all I've got for you today. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and we'll try to see you on the next one.